Hari Om. In this video, we are going to continue the discussion of events. In the previous video, we have discussed the introduction of events, in which we have seen event is a way for a class to provide notifications to clients of that class when some interesting thing happens to an object. The most familiar use for events is in graphical user interface. We have seen examples of clicking a button is called as an event, or changing a text in the text box is called as an event in a graphical user interface. So say for example, in a Windows form, if you have a button, clicking the button can be called as an event, or changing the contents of a text box can also be called as an event. So the event concept is mainly used whenever we have graphical user interface. This is the example we have discussed. So when you click the button, what is to be done? That is what is handled in the delegates and events combination. We have seen event is a delegate data type which will be a class member. It is used by the object or class to provide notification to other objects that an event has occurred. So in your class, you will have event being declared as a delegate data type. I repeat, in a class, event will be a member inside a class. I repeat, inside a class, event will be a member and the event will be of delegate data type. So you can say event is going to be an object of any of the delegate data type which is already defined. I repeat, event will be an object of any of the delegate data type that is already defined. So again the same concept is given in a different words. In C#, a C# event is a class member that is activated whenever the event it was designed for occurs. So when the event occurs, it can also be called as firing the event. So whenever the event is activated, you call it as firing the event. This is an example we have discussed earlier. The user clicks the button. When he clicks the button, for clicking the button, it is called as an event of the button. Button click is the event. For this event, a new delegate data type object will be created. The new operator will be creating a delegate data type object. So here the delegate data type is event handler. Event handler is one of the predefined delegate data type available in .NET Framework class library. Then you have a method called as button1click method, which will be passed as an argument for creating the delegate object. So what happens? The event handler delegate object will have a reference to the button click method. So whenever the click event happens, the method button1click will be invoked. So this is how it works. So the button click will be taking it as a callback method, which will be referring a method called as button1click. So that is what is depicted in this diagram. The event will be adding button1click method. So all these examples, this kind of example we have seen in the multicast delegate program, how methods can be added to a delegate object or delegate reference. All these things we have already discussed. So please recollect all those points. So any object that is interested in the event can register and be notified as soon as the event fires. At the time an event fires, the registered method will be invoked. That is why the events and delegates will be always going hand in hand to provide programs functionality. All these things we have already discussed in our previous video. That's why I am just rushing out. So it starts with a class that declares an event. Any class including the same class that the event is declared in may register one of its method for the event. So if you want to register the method, you need a delegate. So it can be done only through a delegate. But what is the condition? The delegate must have the same signature of that of the method. That is the condition. Now if you have a delegate for an event, the delegate can be a predefined delegate as that of the event handler, which we have seen in the previous slide. It can be a predefined .NET Framework class library delegate, or you can declare your own user defined delegate also. So whatever is the appropriate delegate, that will be assigned to the event, and this will effectively register the method, and this method will be called whenever the event is fired. So it's as simple as that. The only thing is, for any event you associate a delegate data type, and this delegate data type will be referring a method. So when the event is triggered, the method will be invoked. That's it. That's why the events programming model is based on the idea of publisher and subscriber. So publisher will be doing some logic and publish an event, and this publisher will send their event only to the subscribers. So whichever is subscribing the user control, that can trigger the event. Accordingly, the event handler will be executed. So all the user controls generally you see in a graphical user interface will be publisher, which will be firing the event, and whichever application is using it, that will be invoking the event handler. So whenever the event fires, the event handler method will be invoked. Now all these points up to this we have already discussed in our previous video. We continue the discussion right from this point. Now these are some of the conventions that we are going to use in the events. Any event handler will return void data type, and it can take two parameters. All the event handlers will be returning void data type, and it takes two parameters. The first parameter will be the source of the event, that is, who is triggering the event. Who is triggering the event? That is what you call a source of the event. And the second parameter is an object derived from event args. Event args will be the second argument or second parameter. So events are properties of the class publishing that particular event. Okay, so let us go back and see the example. If you see this example, for this method you have two parameters. This one, the first argument specifies who is triggering the event. Second argument specifies event args, which will be having the attributes of the events that are happened. So these are the two arguments you will be passing in the event handler. The event handler will be having void return type, but it will take two parameters. First parameter will be the source of the event. Second parameter will be event arguments. So in the example we have seen that this is the event handler. So the event handler takes the first argument as the source, The second one will be even args. These are the two parameters that will be passed for the event handler object. So this idea I have given you just for your information. You have to remember this is the convention generally used for all the event handlers. So whatever graphical user interface control you are going to use, all these controls will have these kind of parameters for the event handlers. Now let us see how to implement events and delegates together to have a two-way communication. Suppose, say for example, I have a window form. Inside the window form I have a button object. Now the button object is the one that has an event called as click event. Button is an object. If it is an object, there must be a class called as button. For this class button, you have created an object called as button1. So button1 is an object of class button, and this object is having an event called as click event. It has a click event. So if I have a click event, I need a method for handling the click event. So a method for click event handling has to be defined. So you need a separate method. So in the example we have seen, you have a method called as button click method, which will be performed whenever an button click event happens. So you need a method for click event handling has to be defined. Then once you have the event, and if you have a event handling method, you need the third one, you need a delegate reference to refer this particular method whenever this event happens. That means when you click the button, you need a delegate reference to refer the method used for handling the click event. Therefore, an event can be created as an object of the delegate data type that refer the click event method. So, every button object will have a click event, and for each click event you need a click event handling method. If I want to refer this method, you need a delegate reference. Once you have a delegate reference, whenever the click event happens, the delegate reference will be invoking this method. Whenever the click event happens, the delegate reference will refer this particular method. We will see an example. Before getting into this example, let us see how to define an event. So if I want to declare an event, you declare an event, then you assign a value to that particular event. So if you want to declare the event, you need a modifier, then event keyword, then specify a delegate data type, then you can give a event name. So say for example, when you use the modifier, you can have a new modifier, and this new modifier can be combined with static, virtual, override, abstract and sealed. These are the possible modifiers that we can use for declaring the event. These are the possible modifiers we can use for declaring the event. Then modifier, event is the keyword. Next one is type. So what is the type to be given for event? It must be a delegate data type, and this delegate data type must be accessible as the event itself. So whatever modifier you have given here, that kind of accessibility should be there for the delegate data type. Then you can give any identifier, C# identifier as the event name. The event name can be any C# identifier. So these are the examples. You can give a modifier public, and if you want you can have it as new, you can have it as virtual, override, etc., etc. Any modifier can be used. Then give the keyword event. Then you need to give a delegate data type. So here event handler is a delegate data type, which is a predefined data type available in .NET Framework class library. And tick handler is a delegate data type that is defined by the user. It is a delegate data type defined by the user. And click and tick are the event name. So the first one in the example is showing you how to use a predefined delegate data type. The second one is an example of user defined delegate data type. We have seen in our discussion, for any event the delegate can be a predefined one or the delegate can be an user defined one. So this example shows if you are declaring an event, the delegate data type event handler is a predefined one, whereas tick handler is a user defined one. So this is possible in C#. Therefore, events are based on delegates. That is why whenever you discuss events, you should know what is a delegate. Whenever you have studied delegate, you should know what is an event. So events and delegates are always used as a combination in your .NET environment. So if I want to have it in my program, you have to declare a delegate. Then you have to declare an instance of the delegate using the event keyword, instance of the delegate using the event keyword. You can observe here, when I am declaring it like this, what happens automatically, the click becomes an instance of event handler. The same way tick becomes an instance of tick handler, where tick handler is a delegate data type. Appo tick becomes the instance of this delegate, click becomes an instance of this particular delegate. So that is what it says. After declaring a delegate, you can go for declaring an instance of the delegate using the event keyword. Let us see a demo program. I go to the demo program. Please observe the demo program carefully. For the time being, you can just ignore all these things here. Let me first execute this program, then we will discuss the program. Right? Let me go to the program. Let me increase the size. Yeah. Let me open the program. Events demo. This is the program that we are going to execute now. I am going to execute this program, then we will discuss the program. I am just executing it. Sorry. I compile the program. No errors, and I am going to execute this program. I executed. Yeah. So when I execute the program, it is showing me a window. You can see here I am having a window. Window is created. It says I just started. Window is created and it says I just started. I click the OK button. By the time another window opens where it has a button called click me button, I click this button and it gives me a message saying you have clicked me. And when I click OK, again it goes back. Again if you click, it will say you have clicked me. When you click again, you will get the message box. So this will be available as long as you run the program. So to stop this program, you just close this window, your program stops. I run the program again. By the time when I start running it, it says I just started. This is a simple message box. I call it as simple message box. This is a simple message box. I click on the OK button. It shows me a window and the window contains a button called as click me. When I click this button, it shows me a message box with OK button. If you want to stop the program, just close the window. This is what your program is all about. So what happens now in the program? Let us get into the program. Since I am going to execute the window form, I am going to use these three namespaces. System namespace always we will use. Then I am going to have a drawing namespace to add the controls to the window form. To create a window form, I am using this namespace. So drawing is one namespace. Windows.forms is another namespace which are used for creating window form. Then I am going to create a delegate. I call it a start delegate. Observe here, this is a user defined or custom delegate. User defined, or you call it as custom delegate. Then you are going to define a class called as event demo, and event demo is inheriting the properties of a window form. Form is a class that is defined in windows.forms namespace. So this form will be showing you a window form. So you just inherit the properties and you can have your own form here, which will be called as event demo. Now inside this class, we have already seen event is a member of a class which is of delegate data type. So inside this class, I am going to define a member as event. Now event becomes a member of this class. But what is the data type for event? It must be a delegate data type. What is the delegate name I have already given? It is start delegate. So I gave start delegate as the data type for this event. And what is the name of this event? You call it a start event. So this is how you will be defining an event in your program. Then what I have done, I have defined a constructor. And in the constructor, I am going to create an object for button, and this object is called as click me. And I am going to create a new instance of the button object. Then for this button, which is the parent object in paranjittundengal, one who contains the object is called as the parent object. So what I am going to do, you need some container for holding the button. Event demo is the form window, or you call it as window form. So this window form becomes the parent of the button. Appa what happens? Automatically to the window form a button object will be added. Adondana when we run the program, we have seen a window inside that window only we had the click me button. That means for the click me button, the parent object is the current window form. So current window form we can refer using this keyword. Then for the button, on the top of the button you have seen a caption like click me. So this click me is the caption that you see on the button object. So button name dot text will be the caption for the button object. Then you can specify a location. So when you specify the location inside the window form where you want to place the button object, inside the window form where you want to place the button object, that will be specified here, for which you are going to create a point, and that point will be finding the width and height of the window, that will be divided into half to find the center of the window. So this will find the center of the window. Then you have an event handler. You need a event handler. So click is the event for which you create a new delegate object. Here I am using event handler, which is a predefined delegate data type, in which I have to pass a method for click event. Recollect the previous slide that we have seen. Or click event we have created a event handler delegate object. Inside the object you have to pass the method name. Appo you need on click me clicked is the method name. So if you see the program, you have a method defined here, and the method name is on click me click. This is the method name. And we have seen for event handler you have two parameters. What are the two parameters? The source, which is called as sender, and the event args, that is the second argument. So these are the arguments you will be passing to the on click me clicked method. Inside the method I am just having a message box that will show the message called as you have clicked me. That's it. Okay. So what you have done here, you have created a button object. You have added the button object to the window form. The window form is referred as event demo, which is referred using this reference. Then for the button object you have added the caption as click me, and the location of the button object inside the window form will be the center. Center can be calculated using the point object. Then once you have added the button, you need the event handler to be defined, for which you assign the click event with a new event handler delegate. Then what you are going to do, you are going to create a start delegate object. So start event you have already created here. And for this event you need start delegate object to be created. This is the event and this is the delegate. So this event is now an instance of this particular delegate. So start event is an instance of start delegate. So what you do, start event becomes an instance of start delegate. So when you create a start delegate object, you need a method to be passed. എപ്പോഴും ഒരു മെത്തേഡ് പാസ് ചെയ്യണ്ടേ നമ്മൾ delegate object create ചെയ്യുമ്പം. So what is that method? You have defined that method here, called as on start event method. On start event method, which is again showing you the message box called as I just started. Okay. So once you have created the event, The event can be triggered or fired just by saying start event dot invoke, or you can say start event open close parenthesis. So this is what you call as firing the custom event explicitly. Firing the custom event explicitly. But click event, you are not going to explicitly invoke it or fire it. That will happen inside the window form. So these are the two methods you will be using. One for the event handler delegate, the other one for the start delegate, which is a user defined delegate. Then in the main method, this is a predefined class available in .NET environment to run a window based application. To run a window based application, you have a class, predefined class in .NET Framework class library, which is application. Inside this class, you have a static method run, which will be having a form object as an argument. A form object, a window form object as an argument. So what happens? When the application starts running, it will create an object of event demo. Event demo is a form object, so that will be created here, and obviously it will show you a window form. So this is the program that shows the output. Let me run this program again to show the output. I just started. Where did you see this I just started? I just started this one. So what happens when you create the object new event demo? It goes to the constructor and it adds all these button and click event handler etc. will be added. Then it will be creating a start event object. Then it fires the start event method. So what happens? Automatically it comes to on start event method, and it will show you the message box message box with message I just started. So that is what you have seen here as I just started. Now when you click I just started, it will be creating a window. When you click I just started, it goes back and it creates the window form with a button here. The button is created and the button parent is the window form, which is called as event demo window. Then inside the window exactly at the center. So this is used for creating the center. So exactly at the center you have the button, and the caption of the button you can see here as click me. Now in the click event, what you have done, whenever click event happens, it must invoke the method called on click me click. What do you do in on click me click? You just show a message box. So when I click this, it will show you a message box. Again when I click this, it will show you the message box. Click it, you get the message box here. And when you close it, your program gets terminated. So this is how a delegate and events are used together to activate a program for firing the events. So whenever you want to handle some events in your program, you can go with event data type as the instance of a delegate data type. Event data type as the instance of the delegate data type. So that is what this first demo program is all about. Then your add and remove methods in event declaration. This we have already seen. Any event name is a instance of the delegate. So event name plus equal to will be adding a delegate instance, event name minus equal to will be removing the delegate instance. So this we have seen in our multicast delegate. Multicast delegate we have used the delegate objects. So events are nothing but delegate objects. So you can go for adding or removing methods in the event declaration by using plus equal to and minus equal to. And your events can be declared in two different ways. First one with the delegate data type, which we have seen in our demo program. Second one, you can declare it with explicit add and remove methods. You can have add and remove methods, and this methods will be, the declaration of these methods are somewhat similar to your properties itself. Let us see a demo program how the add and remove method can be used for declaring an event in a program. So your second demo program describes the second way of declaring a event. So this is your program. It's a simple program. You can see here I have a class defined and I am going to define the event. I define the event. When you define the event, you need a modifier, event keyword, and you need a delegate data type. Then you need an event name. All these things you have done. Then what you have done, instead of having a reference, you are using add and remove method. So the add method will be triggered whenever an event happens, and the remove method will be executed whenever you use minus operator. So when you use plus operator for the event, this add method will be invoked. When you use minus operator for the event, the remove method will be invoked. I repeat, when you use add method, the plus equal to will be triggering the add method. When you define remove method, minus equal to will be triggering the remove method. So this is just add and remove method as you use your, in the property you might have seen get and setter method. So as you use get and setter methods for the properties, for the events I can use add and remove method. What do you do here in the main function? You create an object of this class. You create an object of this class, and to this object event, T is an object of test type. My event is an event of the test class. So when you use plus equal to new event handler is the delegate data type, and I pass some method. The method I call it as do nothing, and I pass the parameters here, and I just have console.writeline. And remember, this method will not be invoked. Instead it will be invoking the add and remove method for plus equal to and minus equal to. So when I execute this program, this plus equal to will be invoking the add method, this plus equal to will be invoking the add method, and this minus equal to will be invoking the remove method. That's it. So let us see the output of this program. I go back to the terminal. I have event demo 1. I compile event demo 1. I execute event demo 1, and you can see here add method is invoked 2 times and remove method is invoked 1 time. Why? Because you have plus equal to operator used 2 times. So this plus equal to invokes this method, this plus equal to invokes this method. But if you use minus equal to, it will be invoking the remove method. So this is another way of declaring an event. Instead of having a separate method for referring the events, you can have add and remove method also. So that is what it says. Whatever example we have seen here, that is one way of defining the event, which was using the delegate data type. Apart from this, you can also have explicit add and remove method, which will be declared somewhat similar to the properties. So in this properties, you will have getter and setter method, but here we will be declaring it as add and remove method with the event keyword. So that is what is shown in this program. You are declaring an event with add and remove method. So these are the methods which will be invoked and not the method that is referred by the delegate instance. That is what you have to understand here. So with that, we are completing the delegates and events discussion. Delegate and events discussion is over with this example. This is the example we have seen in the terminal. You have the event declared with add and remove method explicitly, and whenever you use the plus equal to operator, it invokes the add method. Minus equal to invokes the remove method. And if you want, you can pass an argument here as a method name, or you can pass a null value also. So with that, we complete delegates and events. Thank you.